Ajit Kabayel is a world champion, but not the way he wanted. No fight, no final bell, no Usyk across the ring, just a text mid-flight. And deep down, Kabayel knows this title comes with a question. Now Kabayel earned respect the hard way. Zhang, Sanchez, body shots, ring IQ, adaptation. He looked like the real threat to Usyk. Then Usyk vacated. Talks in Germany collapsed. And Kabayel got the belt by ranking, not by battle. And even he admits it. Winning it in the ring, of course, would mean more. So we're going to go over a recent interview with Kabayel with the Ring magazine. Hopefully we can bring some further context and further perspective. But before we do that, let's begin with this premise. And this premise is that Kabayel has credibility. And that was certified with a great win over Zhilei Zhang and a great win over Sanchez. Both heavyweights operating at the higher end of the top 10. Kabayel has shown a variety of things. He has shown great ring IQ, great body punching, which is rare in the heavyweight division, good punch variety, which again is a rarity in the heavyweight division, and this ability to adapt. He's made adaptations, particularly in his better performances. And based on this, based on the credibility that he has built, and based on his accomplishments, he was the guy. He was the one to challenge Usyk. So with that being said, let's address the first statement. So Kabayel found out he was WBC champion mid-flight after an urgent text from his manager. No ceremony and no warning. So of course, my initial reaction is that being champion under these conditions are not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. The most ideal condition to win the championships, or the championship, is in the ring. Whether it's by decision or by stoppage, knockout, etc. But it's still a great accomplishment. Let me explain why. Yes, he has inherited the belt through vacation, but he's also inherited it through ranking. So yes, he's inherited the belt because Usyk has vacated the title, but he was the highest ranked. And most boxing purists and people in boxing media circles believe that he deserved that accreditation, for want of a better word. So he is a deserved champion. He's just not, he hasn't accomplished the championship in an ideal way. But he still has gained it through his credibility and through his rankings. And he should be proud of that. I believe that Lennox Lewis achieved his first title the same way when it was vacated by Riddick Bowe. So, if you're sharing company with Lennox Lewis, who is definitely a boxing legend, there's no shame in that. So the next statement is that Usyk's team, they had been negotiating a fight in Germany, and talks, they were close to completion, but they collapsed. And because of this, the vacancy from Usyk blindsided him. Now the important question here is why? Why did the talks collapse? That context is important. Was it due to the purse split? Was he asking for too much? Did he not agree the purse split that was put before him? Or was it a location issue? I noticed that Kabayel really wanted this fight in Germany. And I'm not sure if Usyk would have had the same... I'm not sure if he would have wanted it in Germany. So in essence, if you're trying to negotiate a fight with the undisputed champion, and you're trying to negotiate with home advantage, that's good for you, but you're not the one holding all the cards. So I wonder why it fell through. Was it the venue? Was it the monetary split? Or was it simply that Usyk had a change of heart and decided that he wanted to go down a different direction? And then the next statement from Kabayel is that he does not think that Usyk ducked him. He does not believe that. He believed Usyk chose legacy protection over a dangerous fight. there may be some truth to that. And I think generally speaking, when you look at a fight, or when you're in Usyk's caliber, when you're in Usyk's position, you look at a fight and you think, does the rewards justify the risk? Now, when you look at Kabayel, he has credentials, he presents a challenge, he presents a puzzle. So from Usyk's perspective, is it worth the risk to go in the ring with Kabayel? Is the reward worth the risk? And rewards are not just economic, it might be the cultural perspective, the cultural impact, the impact in the boxing community. I'm not sure what the economics were for this fight. However, I'm pretty sure that when you look at, say, like a Tyson Fury, global recognition, and AJ, global recognition, I'm pretty sure that the economics and the cultural impact would not have had the same value. So the next statement is based on a scenario. So when Usyk was victorious against Rico, he stated to Kabayel in Egypt, let's do it. But then weeks later, he vacated, and Kabayel was surprised at this decision. But let's look at that. Think of this. Usyk made a decision, or he made a statement, but when he made that statement, he was directly coming off his victory of Rico. He would have had high adrenaline. He would have been perhaps in a different state of mind. And then when he's vacated the title, he has then made that decision based on reflection, based on analysis. So making a statement with regards to fighting someone after a fight, pumped up with adrenaline, etc. But then when you make a decision weeks after a fight, you have the benefit of hindsight, you have the benefit of consulting your team. These are two very different states of minds. So to have a contrasting opinion when you look at the context is actually quite reasonable. The next statement is that Kabayel admits that winning the belt in the ring would mean more, and he stated that this is different. And I think that's a logical statement. Of course, to win the belt in the ring, that would be the optimum way to win the belt. But he still won the belt, and he still built his caliber. He built his credentials. He has credentials. He earned his ranking, and he earned it the hard way. He fought some very, very tough fighters. And like I say, he's in the similar position as Lennox Lewis was the first time. Because when Lewis first won the world title, he made a multitude of defenses, then lost to Oliver McCall, and then he came back, and then he became undisputed champion. But initially, Lennox Lewis won the title because it was vacated. So, and also it's important to recognize that this is beyond Kabayel's control. This was Usyk's decision. So it might not be the most optimal way to win, but he still won, and he still has this position, and he still has earned it. And then the next statement is about Fury, about Tyson Fury calling him out, and Kabayel accepts. He stated, no problem. Come on, brother. I think this is actually a very difficult fight. When you think about the fight, Tyson Fury has reach and he has adaptability. And when I think about that fight, I think about how does Kabayel deal with Tyson Fury's jab and his awkwardness and his reach? To me, the Tyson Fury fight is a very complicated puzzle. Of course, you can flip the table or flip the coin, and you can ask the question, how does Tyson Fury deal with the body shots? How does he deal with the punch variety? So it's a difficult fight for both men. But this is definitely not an easy fight for Kabayel. And it potentially could be a very great fight. It would be interesting to see the approaches of both men, and considering that both are good at adaptations, it would be interesting to see what type of fight unfolds. Now, the next statement and the final statement is that Itauma is in his sights. When asked about the Itauma Hrgovic winner, Kabayel said he would fight whoever calls for his belt. Now, the Moses Itauma fight, assuming he gets past Hrgovic, and that's going to be potentially a tough challenge, that would be compelling. You could make a case that Moses may be more talented. He might have the better genetics. But Kabayel has shown great adaptability. And you could ask the question, how does Moses cope with the body shots? How does he cope with the work rate? And how does he cope with the traps that Kabayel will set? So this is my final statement. Think of this as the strangest kind of coronation. Kabayel has the belt, but not the defining moment. He did not beat Usyk in the ring, but he earned his credibility the hard way. Through Zhang, Sanchez, discipline, body shots, and ring IQ. And if he meets Fury or Moses Itauma, the real questions begin. Can he solve Fury's reach? Can Moses handle his traps? That is where inherited gold must become proven greatness. Now we know that Kabayel is good, but time will reveal if he is great. So that's the end of the video. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community. That means I'm interested in your comments, I'm interested in your questions, and I'm interested in your observations. Now if you want to support the channel, simply like and subscribe and click the hype button. And if you want to watch more content like this, then simply click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.